While the PvP scene of WoW have always looked to improve their performance to squeeze out an extra win or two, the PvE community loves to do their math. What are my soft caps? How much hit rating do I need? What is my BIS list? These type of questions are by far the most commonly asked ones when a player seeks to improve. Now, many before me have meticulously laid out good guides on the math sides of PvE, and they are easily Googleable. Many of them are several years old, and they are still factually correct, and there is not a lot to improve on. So, let's say you found your class guide and you copied your messiah. Here is the first raw truth that you must face. You are bad. WoW is an old game, and its players have vast experience. There's this saying that if you spend 20,000 hours doing something, you will eventually become a master of it. If this was true, then my mom would be a world-class driver as she commuted to work for decades. Or let's say I would be a world-class runner because I ran for a total of 30k hours in my life. We can quickly dismantle this trash bro science. It is nice to think that you are good at something because you're comfortable at doing it after so many hours, but the chances are that this is nothing but a veil cast over you. It's not about the hours you've spent playing WoW that determines if you've mastered it. It's about how you've spent those hours. So, let's say you want to become better at PvE or raiding, but you don't know where to begin or you can't even identify what you are bad at. You would download a damage meter and look, there you are, top performing, you're constantly number one. If you're constantly number one on damage meters, and you post YouTube videos of how high up you are, it must be proof enough of your skill, right? You're still bad. Being high on damage meters only tells you that others below you are worse than you. It could be their class, it could be that they don't get tricks, it could be their gear, maybe they died, it could be their chromosomes. It doesn't matter. I know, I will start using Simcraft and Roar to simulate my DPS to know if I am good. If I am outperforming the simulation, I should be mathematically perfect. You're still bad. Simulations and Roar are glorified spreadsheets that you put data into and it gives you an output. The input is your gear, the fight length, and raid buffs. The output is some imaginary DPS based on what you provided. Currently, there is little or no validity or reliability testing done on Simcraft for Wrath. Is it accurate? Does Simcraft use the correct abilities? Does the coding of your server change how abilities like Lightning Shield would perform? You can't take simulations outside of World of Warcraft as a measurement stick either. So how should you improve? How can you stop being bad? Number 1. Watch your own gameplay. Record your own gameplay and watch it again. You will find many mistakes like positioning or suboptimal spell usage. Become aware of your mistakes and make a plan on how to fix them. Example for me as a discipline priest, my globals per minute would go down if the fight required me to move and heal at the same time. I would lose focus of my raid frames when having to react to abilities and I wasn't aware of it until I was watching my VODs. Nowadays, I've fixed this, and almost no matter the situation, my global usage will remain high. Ask someone to watch your gameplay and give feedback. Send a VOD to either a guildie or somebody outside of your guild. If there's something World of Warcraft players love, it's when somebody strokes their ego and asks them for their opinion. So you've done your VOD reviews. You found your individual pitfalls when your performance goes down and you're ready to work on them. Then go in and put in the work. Don't raid sloppy. Raid with the intent of perfecting every fight. Every pull is a chance to play better and seek perfection, and maybe one day, when you do your weekly VOD review, you will find that sweet boss pull where all of your past behaviors are fixed. Your friend also can't find any issues, and you both high-five each other, and you should celebrate. Slowly, this perfect boss fight happens more often than not. After that, it happens for longer periods of time, even during trash. You are playing optimally. You are now in a flow state when raiding. Here comes the last part of this video on how to improve. How to deal with tilt. The server goes down. The loot doesn't drop. Your guildies die. They fail mechanics. All of this is out of your control, and tilting for any reason other than your own misplays are childish and a waste of everybody's time. I am talking when you react slowly and die, when you fail to snapshot your drain soul, when you're healing the wrong target. When you find yourself seeking perfection and not achieving it, you will experience a psychological event called dissonance. A dissonance between what you want and think you are and what you're actually looking at. This event will cause stress to you. Now, there are different ways to deal with tilt when playing bad. Here are some common bad ways that people deal with tilt. Number 1. You complain in voice comms or make excuses. Nobody wants to hear this shit, and your negative experience can cause others to lose their flow state and make them tilt as well. You are not funny when complaining about mechanics being bugged. You're not excused because somebody else made mistakes before you. 2. You go 100% mute and you don't communicate at all when you're in a leading position or should communicate. Going full mute and "I'm just mad at myself, K" will also negatively impact others around you. Number 3. You laugh at your own incompetence. It's alright to make a lighthearted joke to ease off pressure, but you can just as well come off as an arrogant prick who don't care about your own performance while others in your raid are trying really hard. These are excellent examples on how to spread tilt like an epidemic. So how should you deal with tilt? There's no perfect answer, but just like VOD reviewing your gameplay, you need to critically think about how you manage tilt and if it was appropriate. Step 1 should always be to prevent tilt from happening in the first place, to play matching to your expectations. It's not realistic to expect 100% perfect gameplay every fight and every raid night. You will have nights where you slept like shit, your work was horrible, or your in real life is stressing you out, and this will make you react slower and play worse. Personally, my best way of dealing with tilt is just to accept, okay, this isn't the perfect raid for me, and try my best not to drag the team down. Trust in them to carry you when you can't carry them, because the next night it will be your turn to lift them up instead. After all, WoW is a team game, but sadly you can't spell the word guild without an I.